Alright, we've got 3 packages, 2 1ers and a 5 or 6er. But before then, some non-anime stuff. I got the Disgaea 5 complete Nintendo Switch thingamajigger. I guess I still haven't taken the cartridge out. And then I got this RPG Maker FES? FES? I don't know. I've played a little bit with RPG Maker in the past. And again, I think it was called RPG Maker 2000. It was for the PC, and it was pretty cool. I never finished the story I was making there. Maybe I'll try and make something like that for that, or I'll probably just hang on to it and never fire it up. But it seemed pretty cool. The idea was, I knew that new Pokemon distribution started today. Sorry, not today. This month. Heatran and Regigigas, but I didn't know the details. I'm like, it's probably just GameStop again. But then it wasn't GameStop. No, they're doing some other, I don't know, it sounds kind of retarded because it sounded like there were people who had the newsletter and should have gotten the thing but didn't get it. I don't know. All I know is, I didn't get it, but it's Regigigas and Heatran, and I think I'm okay, even if I would have preferred the easiness of getting free level 100 versions of them. Nothing else in this box. Okay, we've got a nice little pile already going here, and that looks like 6 things and not 5 things, or maybe 7 things. Hard to tell because Flappers is kind of big, but I don't know. That's a spoiler alert for however many minutes in the future. And for some reason, Bungo Stray Dogs sounds like a bunghole or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I just have a dirty mind. And this stuff, sometimes I can get it started. Sometimes these! But, Scissors opens them all the time. Go Scissors. Cool. I think that's everything I expected to be in each of those. So, let's go top to bottom. First, we have Pokemon the Series XYZ Set 2 with What's-Her-Face, Sylveon. I actually kind of like this evolution of the Fire Funks thing over its first and last forms. Of course, I can't hold this very well, but I don't know. We'll go around. There's various Zygarde. Is that his name correctly? I don't know. And I am being so clumsy right now. Oh well, lots of stuff. And then as we go inside, I was wondering why she had a sword. And that's right. Alright, that's a Dubledge or something like that. I can't remember the goat's name. Oh. That's a Gardevoir. I was wondering if it was a little pinkish, purplish. It might be an artifact of the dying or something. I don't know. Is it Phoenix or something? Oh well. Next up we have Girlish Number Complete Collection, and I think this might have been a Blu-ray only release, unless there's a DVD version buried in there. It doesn't look like. It looks like everything there is DVD Blu-ray. Region A, Japanese with English subtitles. The name sounds very familiar. I can't tell from the front why. I don't even know what it's about. Maybe y'all read the back while I was looking around the back for some reason. But, I don't know. The important thing is... Whoop, I see 2 discs. That's disc 2, and that's disc 1, so I guess I don't know what they are doing. So they look very happy. And it doesn't look like one of those anime where everybody's running and happy, but there's a sad thing, and I don't know. Bungo Stray Dogs, Season 1. See, the name's weird, but I do like the 1920s, 30s New York kind of look of people. I think that's the right time frame. I don't know. I don't think I can time frame worth a damn to save my life. Okay, let's see. Huh. And I think that's a guy. But it could also be a slightly androgynous girl. Or no, this seems like the sort of anime based on the front that is mostly male populated. I don't know, is that person a female? I don't know. I don't know what to make of it at all. It looks interesting and curious. I guess we want to know this. It's regions A and B. It has an English dub. And not all strays are dogs. Okay. People. I think we've got a mix of people because maybe that person is acting very girlish to that, I think, guy. Where's his bottom half? Her bottom half? I can't tell. Am I seeing a roundness on the chest there? This is a really hard anime to process image-wise. It's unfortunate too because I don't know how high of a priority this is, and because of that, it's probably going to be on this. Oh, it would be interesting to see that, but I won't actually get around to it, I guess. Shows. So if we take a look at some of this extra stuff, we've got evidence of stuff. And then it came with bookmarks. Oh, it's open. I guess we'll just take a look. Hey, maybe we will actually learn more about a couple of these characters. Because some of these are like, yeah. Very stereotypical designs for guys. This looks a little more feminine up close. Partially because of the accessories. Some roundness to the chest there. The softer eyes, but I don't know. Could still be not. There could be reasoning. This doesn't look like a show that has reasoning, but whatever. The important thing is that somehow I'm trying to remember how all this stuff went together, and no. Okay, yeah, because this had one of these. I guess I got a limited edition of some sort. I guess. That doesn't feel like it's fit. I guess it's snugly scooting in there. I guess I'll put this aside with my anime extras, if I can even get it out. Well, that's annoying. Good thing it didn't do anything to the thingy-majibs on the inside. Oh well. Next up we've got, this is heavy, this is Flappers. I've definitely heard the name before, I don't know the context, and obviously somebody went all out for a very pretty DVD Blu-ray box set. Audio, English. So this has a dub. Region A only. Is this Sentai? This is Sentai. So I guess I went for this version. Is it Blu-ray only? It's Blu-ray only. I wonder if this was only a Blu-ray only release, or if I missed the Blu-ray DVD or mixed DVD versions. I don't know. I'll have to check it out, but for the time being, first I'm going to take a look at this limited edition booklet. I see red, I see blue. I wonder what that means. I see magical girls. I saw fairy, I see scenery. That's an interesting book. Then we've got this stuff. Disc 1, Disc 2. Oh, apparently there's more stuff. Disc 1 and upside down Disc 2. There's people. I have absolutely no idea what this even is. Flip-flap. Makes me think flip-flop, but it's obviously not flip-flop, and flip-flap might make sense if they're flying. I think these postcards are in one of those, so I'm gonna be lazy. And this is a bookmark. It looks lenticular. I guess it's supposed to look a little 3D. Interesting. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to have to look into a bit more if I need to get a DVD version of this. But for the time being, we have a Trickster covered by that thing. I don't know, it didn't come off immediately, so let's take a peek. This is Trickster Part 2, and it's interesting. Oh, first of all, regions A and B as well as in English dub. It's really interesting because this doesn't look anything like the cover of the first part, so they're presented in very different ways. I wouldn't call them bad ways, but it's an interesting inconsistency, which, I don't know, something. Let's see. And that disc just slid underneath me. Remember, loose discs are shipped. Okay, I feel a little blue piece of plastic. Eventually I'll find it. We got Blu-ray DVD. Oh, I see, that fell. Oh, it's this right here. This case is in really bad condition. I'm not seeing much of that. This thing fell out of there. And it's not... No, I guess it's sticking in there now. This fell out. 3 out of 4 discs loose is pretty bad. This thing's seen better days. If any. Maybe it hasn't. Weird. And I forgot to put that back in here. I guess I'm going to just have to see. Oh my god. I can't get it. This is some of the worst destroyed packaging I've ever seen. I wonder if somebody just hated this show. And anyways, Kiss Him, Not Me. It's definitely a very interesting title. Ooh, regions A and B, English dub. One thing, princes belong together. Huh? Okay. I guess this is a story about a girl who maybe likes BL, and because of that, she's sort of trying to ship them together in a very reverse harem sort of way, maybe unintentionally to her purposes, which could be amusing, but I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I've got too much stuff to think about. Blu-ray, DVD. See, I think they love BL. Yeah, of course, because she's telling people to kiss other guys and not herself. Very strange. Next up, we've got actually 2 fairy tale things. We have episodes 266 to 277. I think this is just Fairy Tale 0. So I think this is the next thing, Region A, English dub. So like, I noticed that at some point the Fairy Tale DVD Blu-rays changed the way they looked, and I'm wondering if this is just more Fairy Tale, and I don't know. I could probably just go over there and take a look at the episode numbers, or I could just be lazy because I'm far behind on Fairy Tale. Anyways. Okay. Something about her looks familiar. Like I think the wings on her head are a little distinctive. Blu-rays 1 and 2, DVDs 1 and 2. These seem like completely different characters than our normal cast, though. So I'm not sure what I'm seeing. Actually, maybe I think isn't he the guy who has trouble keeping his clothes on? Anyways, next up we have Fairy Tale Dragon Cry, which is people. And look, there's a Region A, English dub. And this is a movie of some sort, complete with moving pictures. Come on. Maybe I could use a second thumb, or rather a third thumb. And this thumb. So we've got feature film Blu-ray, feature film DVD, backgroundy background. Pretty straightforward. Well, let me get this back in here. Somehow back in there. There we go. And here's this week's anime DVD collection update. So I think last week I said I had started All Out Part 1, and I kept up with it. It was mostly okay. There's something about it that's a little off, and I think it's off in a way that's along the lines of it not being the kind of sports anime I like to watch, maybe. What I mean is, I think I really like a protagonist-centered story. I really like to have somebody to cheer for, and so I really like shows with protagonists, and I tend to cheer for them. And there's a lot of sports stuff that are like that, and some of them, like Haikyuu, kind of set itself up to be like that, but have a couple of characters who are main characters, and then they have other people that are being kind of pulled along. And All Out sort of sets itself up to be kind of protagonisty, except it keeps feeling like it's more about everybody else on the team, and it doesn't feel like it's doing that in a bad way, but more just in a way where it doesn't feel as engaging to me as it could be. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of a storytelling perspective sort of thing of Dragon Ball Super, with at least this early stuff, Goku's just kind of doing a Goku laugh every other sentence or something like that. Where was I going with that? I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, I've been watching it. It's been okay. I could watch part 2, I guess, if it was out, but it felt like I did want to change pace. Oh well. Anyways, I watched season 2 of Attack on Titan with my friend that I've been watching stuff with. And for him it was unfortunate because he didn't remember season 1 nearly as well as I did. And I guess he didn't have a chance to catch back up on it. But we watched season 2, and I think it's about where I could have hoped it would be. Pacing wise, it still feels fine. Maybe a little bit faster than the first season, but I think part of that is maybe keeping on pace with the manga. I don't remember what the manga volumes for this part exactly look like, and I suspect that the second or the next thing after this is going to be that thing. I don't know. Content-wise, it does show some stuff that's actually a little further in the manga than what you would normally have encountered if you had read just this part. But I'm not going to elaborate because it might be fine. It had me scratching my head, but most of that was because I'm like, this was definitely not in the manga. I haven't seen anything about this yet. And because of that, they did it differently than how it was revealed in the manga. Because after this, I decided to go ahead and catch up on my manga, so I read the next 4 volumes. So I'm at chapter 93 or 94, whatever that is. I finished that chapter, whatever it was. So I'm a lot more caught up on it, and it's interesting. I don't know if I can comment other than say that it's interesting how it develops, because you can kind of tell there is a plan to it, and there was a part of me thinking that there's a lot less mystery the further you get into it because you know more, but I think there's still some things I actually have questions about that I'm not going to ask questions about here on camera because it would probably be spoilerish. So overall, season 2 is actually pretty good. I said it was where I thought it would be, and what I meant by that is it couldn't quite live up to the emotional roller coaster that was the first season because of multiple things, I guess. But the series evolves, and it doesn't lose some of those important roots because you start understanding things in a different context. And I was kind of afraid that season 2, the content season 2 would be dealing with, wouldn't be as exciting or entertaining, and it was still pretty good. A little more world building without feeling like it abandoned anything too important from the series. Instead, it actually feels like it's carrying the first season forward like it should, based on where season 1 ended. So overall, yeah, keep going. Good Attack on Titan, I guess. I chose to watch the Pokemon movie I Choose You. There's obviously some movies that I've skipped. Actually, I wouldn't necessarily know that, but yeah, I decided to watch this one because I knew a couple of things about it. And one of those things I'm definitely not going to say because I think they didn't want people to know that. But this movie, if you watch the trailers, you can tell that it's kind of focused from a perspective of Ash starting his journey and exploring some elements that were introduced in the series, but I don't know if they were really explored. Specifically, as you can tell, the idea of what it meant for Ash to have seen Ho-Oh as he started his journey. Anyways, it was okay. I feel like sometimes these movies are dealing a little bit with a combination of issues, a need for exposition, and sometimes I feel like the exposition would be better if it wasn't present. Some of the jokes kind of get held down by oh yes, this is TV series, so they don't, this is a joke that we make in the TV series or something like that, and so those can kind of be held back a little bit, but there's a lot about it that works out pretty well. It's just, I don't know, I guess it's Pokemon weirdness, and if you've watched the movies, you probably understand that feeling, and you're like, oh yeah, I could totally just watch it, that's not a problem. Anyways, last but not least, I started watching Izetta the Last Witch. I think I'm about halfway through it, and I just finished episode 6 or something like that. And it's pretty nice. There's a weird mix of stuff going on, and it is neat. But there's a part of me wondering if it will completely satisfy me. I almost feel like there's a sort of aimlessness, a pseudo-aimlessness to the movie. It kind of reminds me a bit of watching Black Panther, where they kind of set this up where you know what kind of movie it's supposed to be or what kind of series it's supposed to be, but it's hard to really tell if it's staying in line with it. It kind of meanders a bit, and there's meandering that's okay. It's just one of those things where I'm not quite sure what I should be hoping should happen to the characters. Because like with Black Panther, they kind of established the meaning of being king sort of stuff, but they don't really establish that the titular character, which I guess stuff. Yeah, I was going to say something. Tyler character, you would think maybe would have some troubles with that, but it didn't really seem like he did. It didn't feel like he learned much going through the journey. Other people learned important stuff, but I didn't feel like the movie was about the other people, and part of that is, I like to follow the protagonist, and if the protagonist isn't what the movie is about, then, well, it better be about whoever it is other than the protagonist, because I've seen some shows that actually do a really clever switch of protagonist sort of thing, and it works out really well for them. You kind of still were drawn in by what the protagonist was doing, but when the new protagonist is front and centered, then it was a transition that actually made sense, and usually it allows you to kind of go back and kind of see earlier stuff from the perspective of the second protagonist being the protagonist. And if you know what I'm talking about, actually there could be a couple of series that come to mind that are really popular that kind of do it, but I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about it because I kind of need to watch it all the way through. It's had some neat sequences that have happened, that's for sure. And there's some kind of cute girls doing cute things-esque moments in it that are nice. But yeah, I'm not sure what to think about it. Outside of that, can't think of anything to really talk about. Haven't been playing video games still. I mean, you might see that some of these are weird. You might be wondering where some of these came from, and I'm at a project of changing how I'm holding on to my Blu-rays, DVDs, which unfortunately I didn't pick up the camera to show, so I guess it's just something we'll have to see December when I do my next apartment thing, because the entire goal here is to organize some of the space in my apartment a little bit better, mostly by cataloging what anime DVDs and Blu-rays I'm putting in boxes. And I usually have a pile of Blu-rays because I have rips of the DVDs and I can just watch those, and those are usually okay quality, but the Blu-rays are usually of higher quality than anything I rip, because if I have a DVD version, I'll rip the DVD version. But I've been thinking that the Blu-rays are having trouble spreading and stacking, and they're not manageable, so I'm getting those into boxes. But I need to know where they are in case I need to go dig out the Blu-ray version, and technically I need to do that for the DVD version in case I need to go re-rip the DVD version, which I do for the vanilla disc 6. But I don't know. It's projects. I don't even know if it's relevant to all of y'all. So maybe I should just end things there. Y'all have a nice week.